Welcome to 420 Table Talk. This is episode 6 now, Willie.
6. Oh my God.
6. We are in episode 6. And y'all know
Welcome.
we pass bowls and not bongs anymore.
Oh yeah, dude.
So we're going to do our
It's
normal...
time to get ready for our show, you know.
Time to get ready to go.
It's sorry, we're stoned. But we're not quite stoned yet, but we're going to get stoned right now.
We're working on it.
And you guys can get stoned with us.
Oh, and I got something for you here, Will. I wanted to get this for you. Some Dr. Jolly's...
What?
Little hat pin there.
Oh, man. I love hat pins.
You got some DJs right here. Some good blueberry cake.
I know I don't have very many hat pins, but I got a story for you with hat pins, man. I will never forget this. I was in Denver, and I was doing the trade show, and it was my guy at, oh my gosh, Cali Culture. No. I can't think of it now. Can't remember. I feel bad.
Can't remember.
Sorry, Jason.
It's all right, guys.
Kill your culture. Kill your culture clothing. And he gave me a hat pin, right? And so I wore a hat pin. And we had hat pins for the invites to the party. And I had all these hat pins. I only had like 8 or 9 of them. But the girl that worked at PAX, she came through. And she was like...
So good.
She was like, oh, well, if you only got, 8 of them... you're just a Boy Scout. You're not Eagle Scout till you have 10 of them at this party, right? So it was funny. So I ran around the whole thing trying to get hat pins. Like, go, hook it up. Got a hat pin, And the thing was, you couldn't buy the hat pin. You had to get it hooked up, right? And I come back and I had like 15 or 16 of them. And I was like, oh, yeah, dude, I got these hat pins. But here's what the problem was. Because of that event, every event after that, people were bringing me hat pins.
Oh, so then you had hundreds of hat pins.
So within a couple of events, I had this hat that was just covered in hat pins, and it became like this thing. I wish I had it right now, but it's at the house because it was so heavy. Because you wore that for a day, you were just like, oh my gosh.
Your head's in your neck.
Yeah, so hey man, I appreciate that. I want to put that on one of my... You're
welcome, buddy. So today I thought we'd talk about, it's coming to November, election time. I figured we'd talk about, the cannabis legalization. And right now, cannabis, they're coming up for the vote, and there's, let's see, I read...
Is there any states that got it?
Alaska, or Arkansas, Missouri, and North Dakota are all coming up for election in November on the ballot. They're saying to become legalized. So if you're all in, whoever lives in Arkansas, Missouri, or North Dakota, get out there, hit them polls, vote it legal, right?
Right.
Let's make this happen because we get 3 more states, and that's going to put us up to 14.
14 states legalized.
14 state legalized.
Recreational cannabis.
Right.
And then that's like 27 or 28 that are legalized medical. So
yeah, because there's 23 legalized right now for medical.
We're hitting the...
So if we get 3 more states, that'll put us up to 26 medical and 14 legal. And Oklahoma, I feel bad for Oklahoma because due to this COVID stuff, Willie, they didn't even get enough signatures to even get on the ballot.
Didn't Oklahoma have medical now?
No, well, they have. They're going for recreational.
Oh, okay.
Right? We're talking about recreational now. Oh, look at this, guys. Pass bowls, cute bowls too. Cookie Monster.
Oh yeah, man. I figured if we're gonna not pass the bong, we pass bowls. You might as well have a nice bowl to pass. So I copped a little Cookie Monster bowl.
So our friendly stoners out there in Oklahoma, let's make sure that we can get out there and get those signatures. You see a guy standing there with that little ballot sign, because we both experienced that in Washington. Signing paper, ballots and standing out there collecting signatures. And if you sign and you got time to to be a person to get signatures, get out there and get signatures because the more we get, the better off. We're gonna get more legalization because they're saying that there's a very, very good chance that if we can get these 3 states passed right now, right? And here, let me look at my notes. I'm sorry, we're stoned for sure. It says that in 2021 we can become full legalization across the board. They're saying now. Because what happened in August 29th of 2019, they had a poll and it got voted down 300-1.
Oh yeah.
One person, Willie, we got one person was like, "Hey," one governor or whoever has a vote, was like, "Yeah, okay, I'm gonna put mine in," and there's 300 other people. I was like, "Whoa."
Yeah, they're like, "Fuck that."
That's
bunch
crazy.
Bunch of haters
hating on us.
Mm-hmm. And so what is it now?
Now they said it did a 180.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever that means, they didn't give any numbers, but they said now the statistics has done a complete 180. So I'm going to say it's probably more in our favor.
Yeah.
Probably like 250 to 50.
I mean, I know it's in our favor. It's just giving
right.
those old guys in Washington
because they didn't specify on any. They said it was 300-1 were the odds in 2019, and that it's done a 180 on the changes since August of 2019. The changes of cannabis laws are much greater now than they were in 2019, is what they're saying. Mm-hmm. So they're saying like, they're not going to be like pulling people over like they did a dude on last episode, and putting him in prison for 5 years.
Oh yeah, well a lot of places are working on decriminalization. Like here in Oregon, we have it on our ballot to decriminalize, a lot of different drugs. Right. So that's not a criminal act no more.
We got mushrooms coming up in November.
Yeah, and the thing about it not being a criminal act is when it's no longer a criminal act, then people are getting put into a system that has them stuck, because when you have that criminal record, you cannot get a job, you know what I mean? Lots of places won't hire you. That is the one thing they can discriminate on you for. Right. Rental. When I lived in Denver, Denver had a 98.9% fill rate on their apartments, meaning there was barely any apartments for rent. And right. I'll never forget because I have a burglary from when I was a young man, and it was a gun possession. Had a burglary and a gun possession. My bad. I was young and dumb. Weed fixed me. Right. But we had I had a gun possession, and I'll never forget because I was reading a lot of the places that you applied for. They were like, if you've ever had a murder within 99 years, we won't rent to you. If you had a rape within 99 years, we won't rent to you. And I'm like, yeah, man, murder and rape, you damn straight. No one, no murderers and no rapists next to me. Right. If you've had a gun possession charge within the last night, like, just a possession charge? I mean, I didn't kill or rape nobody. I just had it.
Just had the
99 years, I don't get no apartment. So, things like that affect people, and it really affects their ability to, reintegrate with society. Because a lot of times the addiction problems come from, people having problems within themselves and problems with their family and things they haven't quite worked out. Right. So once they can, actually get the help that they need instead of the prison time, then they can actually make those connections back. So. Right. So when it comes to voting for legalization across a bunch of boards, we need to get it. You know what I mean? Like, even if you don't believe in cannabis, if you, you showed this video to a grandma who is anti-cannabis, it's the devil's lettuce. At least vote it in so that we can regulate and get help for the people that need help. You know what I mean? Because no matter how you look at it.
How I look at it is really the more states that we get legal, the more scientists and more information we can get on it to find out if there really is these, great medical benefits that we already feel, that we know we feel. We don't know to be true, but we know we feel better. So the more states we can get legal.
Right.
The more people we can get involved, and then the scientists can get in there and break down the THCA, THCF, THCD, E, B, and find out which one of those, like they did with the modern day medicine, they had to go through and they had to find the penicillin. So who got the best mold? You know what I'm saying? So they're out looking for the best mold to make their penicillin. Mm-hmm. And that's the same thing. The scientists can take a big old fat nug, like this. And they can take it into their little lab and they can break it up and they can break down the properties of it because they have all the equipment there and stuff. You know what I mean? to get to know, and they say, okay, well, if you added this and this and this, like more THCA and more CBD to balance off with some THCF, then this is going to give you this for someone that deals with seizures, some maybe.
I don't know. I disagree there, man. I don't think we could do it better than Mother Earth.
Well, I know. Well, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that that they can do like they do with Charlotte's Web.
I couldn't stand that stuff when they was doing that. Like, hey, we took all of the terpenes and the THC and we pulled them all out.
Yeah.
And then we blended them all back together, bro. So you got this like.
No, I'm talking about like so they can know. So they can know like so if they had say they had a 27% CBD to like a 4.6% CBD. Okay, that they can get that regulated to where that plant has 27, and then 4/6, and that might help someone that has epilepsy or someone that deals from seizures or whatever. They can, smoke a little like with Charlotte's Web. That's mainly CBD. I feel that would give us more of I feel it would help us. And like you're saying, if you don't believe in it, just because it doesn't help you or it doesn't help anyone that don't think that don't help other people. Cannabis has been around for years. That's it's a great medicine. I know a lot of older ladies and gentlemen that use the rubs, the salves for their arthritis, and they say it works great. And then I hear some other people that say it doesn't do nothing for them at all. You know what I'm saying? So I guess it kind of depends on the person.
Depends on the person's endocannabinoid system and how receptive their endocannabinoid system is. The funny thing is, the people who are anti, they still have an endocannabinoid system that's receptive too.
Why do you think they have wine and go to strip clubs and stuff like that? And,
right.
You know what I'm saying? But for real, that's another endorphin. It's another cannabinoid. When you're in that strip club, you're seeing them dancing around. That's okay. You believe your brain's letting cannabinoids out. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's that natural. It's the natural sensation that you feel. It's like when I'll smoke like an indica, for instance. At night, I try to smoke indicas because then it helps me get that deep relaxation. You know what I'm saying? My muscles relax. I can, I could properly just sit there and just chill. Maybe watch a movie, play a video game, or whatever. Then I'm ready to go to bed. And wake up and do it all over. In the mornings, man, sativa or a good like a hybrid or something like that in the morning time. That's the way to go. But I like to. Nowadays, I'm trying to let my brain wake up before I get high, because I find like at 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm falling asleep.
What do you think it is for the terpenes, though? I think the thing, the scientists and a lot more studying, because, of course, legalization has allowed for the study of cannabis. Right. But I think now, too, like no one knew about terps when they first started happening. It was all about THC. And that's what everybody would do is like, oh, THC.
Well, the
THC,
terps are just
THC.
for the flavor, right?
No, a lot of people are discovering terps are actually what causes the entourage effect, and a lot of the positive benefits come from terpenes.
Oh, that's why they make that terpene juice and sauce and right.
Because sativa and indica, it's a great simple way to describe it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But generally, it describes more of a geographical location of genome of cannabis plant. And I confuse it all the time because I'm a little dyslexic, so I flip them around. So if I flip it around, my bad. But indica, I think those came more from like the Indies and those areas, and they grew for a specific reason. They bred for a specific reason.
Oh, yeah.
And your sativas came from a different area, and they bred for a specific reason. And that's why we feel like this is more, those guys were breeding, to relax. Right. Those guys were breeding to make it through the day. Done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're trying to get some shit done, bro. They're like, sativa, clean high.
But we're starting to discover that a lot of the indicas and the sativas, the terpene profiles tend to flow with one. If I took some notes, I could probably say, but that's the fun thing. We just have these discussions and we just pull them out like, oh my gosh, this is what we know. So we'll give it to you guys. But a lot of the terpene profiles go with the strain of an indica sativa, and the terpene profiles are what are being discovered to cause more of your benefits, your
short-term benefits.
Yeah, like your anti-inflammatory benefits.
Right.
All that good stuff. People argue too, Cannabis is good for your respiratory system. Not smoking it, obviously, because smoking.
No, eating is always the best way to do it.
But you know what it does, it opens up our capillaries and stuff like that.
Right, yeah.
And so, like for me, I prefer, I definitely prefer my lemons and all those things because those give me that nice, and those tend to be more of your sativa blends, I think.
Right.
And those tend to be like a little bit more uppity for me.
Right. Like, uplifting instead of down crawl.
Yeah. And then like for most people who are looking for pain, the woody smelling cannabis, the spicy smelling, the stuff that smells kind of like hops, like your blue dreams and stuff. Yeah, those are going to be like more of your pain relieving because they're more for your anti-inflammatory.
Your Hindi Kushes and your purple Hindu Kush.
I think Leafly actually has a chart for that. You can look it up, and we're magical with our green screen. I make one appear right here. All right. So
when I found, so speaking of Leafly, it's funny because I was looking at different strands the other day. So I was looking at New Year's and they had a strand on there called dog shit. And I'm like Willie, dog shit. Who would want to smoke dog shit? So I go down and I look but listen. So I go down and I look at the effects of it, right? Paranoia was pink, bro. Like it was all the way, like in what was it? Paranoia, how they do it? Paranoia to take care of pain. Anxiety was pinged all the way. There's no pain thing. I'm thinking, so I'm gonna smoke this, and then I'm gonna have a total fucking like full-fledged mental breakdown. Like I'm gonna be like fucking like.
You're gonna feel like dog shit afterwards.
Right, I must feel like dog shit. So it kind of makes sense. That's where I was going with it. Dog shit, and then you're gonna feel like dog shit. I'm like, oh my god. That just sounds horrible.
Right.
So I'll go up and look up certain strands of stuff because I want to know what's out there and I want to find, I like trying new stuff.
That reminds me, I found a dab at a dispensary that was absolutely disgusting. It was super cheap. A friend had brought it over.
Oh.
And it was so disgusting.
Cheap dabs are always disgusting, though.
But here's the funny thing. I can't remember the company, but they posted how disgusting it was. And they literally said on the packaging, like, this is a super disgusting dab. We wouldn't smoke it.
And that's what they sold and it said on the package.
It said that on the package.
Oh yeah, because that's for the. That's
and
it
was so disgusting.
Yeah.
It was
absolute. That's that $5 dab shit right there, bro.
Yeah,
for
exactly,
real, yeah.
Exactly,
and it tells you like you don't want a dab. I've seen it too. You do not. I've seen it on the shelf. You do not recommend it to dab. And the people that are buying it are people that really can't afford to get anything else. Sorry for them, but people actually dab. I couldn't dab it, bro.
Yeah.
There's no way. I have to have some. I have to have something clean, something good. That's blueberry blueberry cake.
Show them guys what you got. What you puffing on today?
Some blueberry cake right there. Let's see right here. Some good old freaking non-solvent. No BHO.
It's pretty good.
Nothing.
I forgot.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, it's smooth. I've already taken a couple on the show. I'm gonna take another one because I was just talking about it and I can taste it again because it has that taste, man.
Flavor. I forgot my next collector, so I'll have to go get mine.
The flavor's so good.
Yeah, man. I love a good dab. I love a good bowl. Yeah, so, terpene profiles. Go back to it. That's what it's about, man. The terpene profiles. You should check it out. And that's something I kind of like.
If you're willing, you can use this. We can sanitize it.
The whole thing.
We sanitize it. Let it cool down.
There we go.
Don't put your lips on it while I'm talking.
I know, right?
Let it sanitize. We're good.
One thing I thought was
That's
really
something
cool.
just taught everybody. If you don't have, an extra thing, you can just sanitize it real quick with your torch of this glass like I just did, and you can pass it to your friend and they can use it. So.
It's one thing that's really cool. They wanted to ban cartridges a few months back, right?
Right, yep.
And so they banned all the cartridges, it could have been the beginning COVID, but hey, conspiracy theories aside.
I don't like cartridges anyways.
Cartridges, yeah. especially the illegal cartridges that you don't know what they are because they were using like vitamin E, acetate.
Yeah, those are the ones that were killing people, and they thought it was the.
And they were using it to thicken it up.
Killing people, and
they used it to thicken it up and do that. But the thing that was nice about it was they made it so they couldn't just sell cartridges with like added terp flavors.
Right.
Because the thing about terpenes is terpenes are found in everything. Terpenes are found in flowers. Okay, there's actual floral terpenes. Terpenes are found in your pineapples. It's what gives a lot of
the flavor.
Product smells.
Right.
Very famous terpene in cannabis is the pinenol terpene, which is like found in pine trees.
Right.
But what some companies were doing was, those terpenes are very inexpensive to produce, from a pine tree. Because, we're in Oregon, we got lots of pine trees.
All kinds of pine trees.
Lots of pine trees. It's green out here.
Let's just get some pine trees.
Right? And so they were adding, fake, they're still real, but, synthetic terpenes, pine tree terpenes to cannabis and selling that stuff in these cartridges. You know what I mean? Like, and it was really disgusting. Like, we got one cartridge, and that was what most of your cheap cartridges were. And we got this one cartridge one time, and I thought it was funny because it was like, it listed out all of the fake the terpenes in there, and it was like, there's X amount of terpenes, but it listed so many that it was like, but the thing only weighs half a gram. Like, so what you're telling me is
it's all terps.
This is all terpenes.
It's all terpenes.
And hardly any actual cannabis.
Like the terpenes on this one here, on this blueberry cheesecake, says 78.44 THC.
So I think it was nice because what happened was
4.34.
They actually passed some rules that made it so that you had to list if you were using cannabis terpenes or other terpenes, which is real nice, and I like that. I think every state needs to do that one.
Oh, for sure, because it's false advertisement, man. You get that nasty shit, and you're like, what the hell?
Which is what every state needs to do. You need to get out there and go legalize it. You can't be sitting on your butt being like, they're going to do it one day, man. They is you, you are them.
Dude, we did that in the 80s, bro, enough for everybody. In the 70s, we sat around saying, one day it's going to be legalized, This is back in like 84, 83, even 76, I can remember being in Humboldt County with my uncle and being like, they were saying, I can remember my uncle and all them saying, it's going to be legal one day, you just watch, guys.
One day.
And here it is now, we have 11 states, so, November's right around the corner. Let's get out there and hit them ballots, guys. Vote, even if you don't vote for anything else, not into politics, none of that, like me, like I don't. Just go and vote for just vote to get cannabis legal. Find out whatever code it is, 502 or whatever thing you need to, whatever.
And support candidates who are about legalized cannabis, man.
Right. So and the more you guys get it legalized, the more y'all can have more fun.
Yeah, and then we could all be saying, sorry,
we're stoned.
We're out.
Peace.